Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Apple Coder. Today we are going to see how to use diffable data source to display and update list of items in collection view. So this is what we are going to do today. So there is a list of fruits displayed here and there's a shuffle button on the top. And when you tap on the shuffle button, the fruits get reordered. So let's look at how to achieve this. So in the previous videos, you would have seen how to add a collection view and how to set up constraints for the collection view. And the new thing in this video is data source and how we configure a diffable data source for a collection view. So first, we create a view controller. And then in the view controller, we specify two properties. One is the data source, which holds on to the collection view's diffable data source. And then another is a list of products that we are going to display. So in the viewDidLoad method, we first create the shuffle button, and then we configure the collection view, and then we configure initial list of fruits to be displayed. And then finally, we update the collection view with that initialized data. So let's look at how to create the shuffle button. It's as simple as just calling UI button. It will just create a button for you. And then the next step, what we do is we add that button as a sub view of this view controller's view. And then we set up constraints so that the button stays on top. And then we specify the height for the button as 30. And then we specify a title, we call it as shuffle, and then we set a title color, we set a background color for that button so that it shows up as gray colored. And then when someone taps on the button, we execute the action specified in the shuffle method. So we specify an action target pair here for the button, and then we finally return the button. And let's look at how to configure the collection view. So for configuring the collection view should start after the button ends. So in the viewDidLoad method, what we do is we get the button and then we ask what is the bottom anchor for the button so that it becomes a top anchor for the collection view. So the configure collection view method gets the top anchor constraint from the viewDidLoad method. And then we first create a collection view flow layout, because to create a collection view, you need a flow layout. And then when we initialize the collection view, we specify the frame size as 0 because we are going to set up constraints and we want to let the collection view grow as the data grows. So we set up constraints and then we set the delegate as self so that we can specify the height and width constraints for the collection view cell. And then we register a cell for the collection view. We call it as product cell. And then we also specify a reuse identifier for that cell. And then we also specify a data source. So in the data source, we specify a collection view diffable data source. And then it comes with a specific format. So you provide a collection view and also you specify what is the cell provider. So this cell provider is a block which is going to create and return the cell back to the collection view. So here what we do is we dequeue a cell, reusable cell, with the reuse identifier that we have specified early on. And then we specify a particular value for that cell. So in this case, we are going to specify the name of the fruit in the cell. And then we return the cell. So this is completes the configuration for the data source. So now we have configured the button, we have configured the collection view. Now it's time to configure initial data. So here is the initial data. So we provide just 3 fruits, apple, orange, and grapes, and you can add as many fruits as you want. So for this example, I have chosen only 3 fruits to begin with. And then I also specify store this products in the self variable that we have created early on. So we have created a current list of products which holds on to that. So we assign the list of products to this current list of products. And then finally, we update the collection view. So when we update the collection view, what we do is we create a snapshot, and in that snapshot, we specify this is the list of sections, and this is the list of items that's going to be assigned for that particular section. And if you have multiple sections, you can also choose the section to which you want the item to be associated to. But since this is there is only one section, you don't need to specify the section when you call append items. So we append the list of products, and then we say apply on the data source. So we are going to apply this new snapshot on the data source, and then the data source will automatically figure out what all changes needs to be made, and then it will automatically reflect those changes on the UI. And when someone taps on the shuffle button, what we do is we shuffle the list of products, and then we update the collection view with that new shuffled list of products. So we call the update collection view again, but this time with a shuffled list of products, and then it does the same thing. So here you also specify the floor layout delegate, and then here what we specify is like we are going to create a collection view cell which is of height 30, and the width is going to just match the collection view's width. And then here we also have a product. So this product is what we pass in as the data source, right? So if you look at the UICollectionView diffable data source, we specify there's going to be a section, and the object is going to be of type product. So this product must conform to the type hashable, so that the diffing knows which items have changed. So every item should be hashable, so that when there's comparison that needs to happen, it can happen using this hashable protocol. So we specify how to compare items. So in here, I have saying that only when the ID matches, the items are considered equal. So this is how the diffing will know whether items have changed or not. So now let's see how this works. So now tap on the run button, and then it will start building this code. So now the collection view is showing up with the list of fruits that we have initially added. And then there is also a shuffle button on the top. And now if we tap on the shuffle button, the fruits changes their order in random fashion. So now we understand that it works. And the beauty of using this diffable data source is that prior to this introduction of diffable data source, everything was manual. So as a developer, you need to figure out what all entries have changed so that you can reorder the cells. So in the perform batch updates API, you can specify these are the list of index paths that you are going to change, and then you have to specify the list of index paths that are going to be moved, and then you have to call the collection view to move those particular cells. So it was pretty much manual, where you have to figure out what all needs to change and how to change. And with the introduction of diffable data source, that's pretty much simplified. All you have to do is you have to create a new snapshot saying this is your new set of items, and then you just say apply the snapshot on your data source, and then the collection view figures it out how to render these new set of snapshot on screen. So the collection view will automatically figure out what has changed and what positions have changed, and then it will automatically do the re-rendering, and also the new snap. It will also reflect your data changes on screen automatically. So that's it for today. So that covers the session where today we have learned how to use diffable data source to display your new set of data to the collection view. See you all in a new video.